very, very good evening and welcome to another edition of the Big Nerd Pub Quiz tonight, the 23rd of August 2020. A little bit earlier than usual, as you may have noticed. Today we are coming to you live from Ostrava at 7 o'clock today. Decided to go a little bit earlier tonight because of a very, very important sporting event which is happening. Yes, it's the European Champions League final between PSG and Bayern Munich. I hope Bayern Munich win, and I definitely want to watch the game, as I'm sure many of you do at home. So, like I said, I put the quiz a wee bit earlier tonight for the benefit of everyone else who wants to watch the game. So yes, this is your weekly quiz fix coming to you tonight live on YouTube, but not for very much longer. Well, not just on YouTube, but I've got more news about that coming up. So if this is your first time, you're very welcome to Big Nerd Pub Quiz. This is how you play it. I'm sure many of you are seasoned veterans of the quiz by now. Anyway, here's the skinny on how to play. As you know, the answer sheet is a Google form in the link of the YouTube description of the video that you're watching. You can play as a team or individually, it's up to yourself. Open the Google link, pop in your email address and answer the multiple choice questions that come up. 8 rounds, 6 questions each, only one correct answer per question. Once the quiz is finished, simply hit submit and you'll get your scores at the very end, but stick about to see the answers for the quiz. It's recommended that you stream it on a laptop or TV and play using the Google form on your phone or other device. Very good luck to everybody. Turn this music down a little bit. At least you can hear me this week. I remember how last week I was going out with no one. No mic. Social media, there's all the links. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course YouTube. Give it a like and subscribe. If you want to shout out at any point, you know how to get in touch via the different social media channels there. Best one to do is get in touch via Facebook and Instagram if you want a shout out at any point tonight. Don't forget, you can share your pics. Use the hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz. Love seeing where you're playing and how you're getting on. Quiz is going to be here for quite a while. Hopefully going to keep it going. Got some news coming up. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can hire Big Nerd Pub Quiz for private events. It's the perfect activity for social distancing. I can fully customize it with questions and graphics for your company or your private event. And it's very affordable and easy to set up. If you want more information on that, give us an email on bignerdpubquiz@gmail.com. And whatever you're into, we've got it covered. We've got loads of cool nerdy quizzes all lined up there in the YouTube channel itself. So if you're into Star Trek, Disney, Lord of the Rings, football, Star Wars, Harry Potter, you name it, we've got it. You replay any of the quizzes that we've done over the last couple of months by checking out the link there above. General Knowledge Quiz now every Sunday night. And the next one coming up is the last one of August. Gosh, we're flowing through the month. Very, very final quiz is on the 30th of August, which will only be on YouTube. But I've got a little bit of news. Next September, on Sunday the 6th, Big Nerd Pub Quiz is teaming up with Harbourside Radio, the brand new radio station based in Warrenpoint, County Down. It's the same quiz, new home, live on Sunday the 6th of September 2020 at 8 p.m. We're going to see if we can simultaneously broadcast the quiz on YouTube and on the radio as well. So hopefully we can definitely get listeners and viewers on both platforms. But yes, Harbourside Radio, the brand new exciting community station in Warrenpoint, County Down. Don't forget, tonight you can win a fantastic Big Nerd Pub Quiz t-shirt, which I'm modelling at the moment, and some 12-pack of Northern Brew Co. beers. You can also buy merchandise from northerntees.com. Use the code BIGQUIZ for a 10% discount. And for other fantastic merch there, do check that out. And don't forget that the quiz is based on a model of soundness. The quiz is always free to play. You can support the work that goes into making it by donating as little as £1 to the PayPal or become a Patreon. Massive thank you to all the supporters out there. Much obliged for all your support and all your viewership over the last couple of months. And I'm going to keep going, like I said. Yes, anyway, yes, like I said, these are the Big Nerd Pub Quiz t-shirts, which you can pick up from the website, from northerntees.com, or if you're a winner tonight, you can get one of those yourself. Anyway, it's been a very interesting week, I have to say, and yes, it's been, I'm really, really proud to announce that link up with Harbourside Radio. I'm really looking forward to get involved with that there. We've got some great programs coming out there, and, you know, it's just another platform to, like, you know, expand the quiz and keep the quiz going over the next couple of months, because we don't know what's going to happen regarding lockdown or anything like that. It could go either way, you know, we could all come out of it, but just in case, if we all have to go back inside again, I'm here for you. Alright, so let's not waste any more time. We're going to move on and get the quiz kicked off. Here's round one. It's general knowledge. Get those question sheets ready. Yes, 6 questions on general knowledge coming your way. And I'll, like I said, I'll try to get through these questions so I can get down to the pub and watch the Champions League final at some point. Anyway, here we go. Round one, question number 1. Just before I read it out, I'm going to read out every question twice, and then we do a recap at the very, very end. So here we go. Round 1, question number 1. So in which US state is Disney World Resort? So round 1, question number 1. In which US state is Disney World Resort? It's round 1, question 1. Maybe you've been there. Alright, so it's one of the American ones. But which US state is Walt Disney World Resort? It's round 1, question 1. Nice wee easy one to start you off this afternoon or this evening. Round 1, question 2. What type of coffee is known as a long black in Australia? Perhaps you drank one out there. Perhaps, you know, you've been curious. You go in and you wonder, what is that type of coffee? But what type of coffee is known as a long black in Australia? Round 1, question 2. Round 1, question 3. Which science fiction author founded the religion known today as Scientology? Yes, we're not going to make any comments. They have very famous advocates such as John Travolta and Tom Cruise. They're all a bunch of great guys. Yes, don't want to say anything more than that. Can't say anything more than that. But anyway, which science fiction author founded the religion known as Scientology? That's round 1, question 3. Science fiction author founded the religion known today as Scientology. Round 1, question number 4. Who is the lead singer in the R&B group M People? You know the ones I'm talking about, you know. Anyway, round 1, question 4. Who was the lead singer in the R&B group, the British R&B group M People? It's round 1, question number 4. Moving on, round 1, question number 5. Who wrote the books Call of the Wild and White Fang? I think they remade Call of the Wild into a movie starring Harrison Ford there very recently. I haven't seen it yet. I'm interested to have a wee look. But it was those books that influenced the man to go out to into the wild. In the movie there a couple of years ago. But round 1, question 5. Who wrote the books Call of the Wild and White Fang? Move the wee camera over there, see if that any better. Don't know. The camera is a bit weird tonight. Like a little bit of that. Anyway. So round 1, question 5. Who wrote the books Call of the Wild and White Fang? Round 1 and question 6, the final one tonight of the general knowledge round. So which teams supplied the most players to the 1966 World Cup winning team in football? So yes, you know the way the English, they love going on about how much they loved winning the 1966 World Cup final, but which English football team actually supplied the most players to that squad? Alright, so round 1, question 6, a wee sports question there in the general knowledge round, but there is a sports round coming up as always. So which team supplying the most players to the 1966 World Cup winning football team? Okay, so round 1, question 6. There's a quick roundup of your general knowledge questions there if you missed them. Or if you're joining late, go through them one more time, nice and quickly. So, round 1, question 1. In which US state is Disney World Resort? 2. What type of coffee is known as a long black in Australia? 3. Which science fiction author founded the religion known as Scientology? 4. Who is the lead singer of the R&B group M People? 5. Who wrote the books Call of the Wild and White Fang? And 6. Which team supplied the most players to the 1966 World Cup winning football team? Alright, nice little easy selection of questions to get us kicked off. Time now is 11 minutes past 7 in the evening. It's actually beautiful, beautiful weather there. I know we had a really tough week with all the storms. There was a Storm Ellen that swept across the country, causing a lot of devastation up and down the land. And yesterday, actually looking out at my garden, there's a lot of debris that's been blown over in from the sea. And just a little bit of a local thing there. If you're from Warren Point, you'll know that they spent a lot of money dumping a lot of sand onto the beach for everyone to enjoy. All gone. Just gone within 2 weeks. Anyway, let's hope that, forget about that and we'll move on to the next round tonight. Anyway, so sticking with it, round 2. It's all about soaps and television. Yes, this is one for all you TV addicts out there who've been sitting watching loads and loads and loads of soaps over the last couple of months and weeks. Anyway, let's test your knowledge on soap operas, British soap operas and Australian soap operas. I think there's a few questions in there about that. So anyway, round 2, question number 1. Who became the landlord of the EastEnders pub, the Queen Vic, on Christmas Day 2013? So, turn this music down a little bit, it's a little bit distracting. Round 2, question 1. Who became the landlord of the EastEnders pub, the Queen Vic, on Christmas Day 2013? You got 4 options there in your answer sheet. Round 2, question 1. Round 2, question 2. In Emmerdale, what is Chaz short for in Chaz Dingle? Yes, Emmerdale, the soap which 8 million people watch. Yeah, I don't know anyone who watches it. Really odd. Anyway, round 2, question 2. In Emmerdale, what is Chaz short for in Chaz Dingle? Round 2, question 2. Round 2, question 3. Which future Hollywood star played Mike Young in Neighbours and David Croft in Home and Away? That's round 2, question 3. If you're of a certain age, you will remember Neighbours being shown on BBC One around about, it used to be shown at 1 o'clock or 1:30 in the afternoon, and then repeated like 3 hours later, 4 hours later for everyone coming back from school. And I loved it. Like, it was like, Neighbours was brilliant. And I recently, they moved it off BBC and I haven't seen it ever since. I know it's on Channel 5, but I think I caught an episode of it. And they've changed the camera format. It looks like a really gritty, high drama series. It doesn't have that kind of like, maybe lower budget of the 90s and the 80s. But round 2, questions 3. Which future Hollywood star played Mike Young in Neighbours and David Croft in Home and Away? Round 2, question 3. Next one tonight, round 2, question 4. In which soap did future Doctor Who companion Mandip Gill play Phoebe McQueen from 2012 to 2015? This, if you're a Whovian, you might know this. If not, maybe a little bit, I don't know. But anyway, maybe a little bit tricky. But round 2, question 4. In which soap did future Doctor Who companion Mandip Gill play Phoebe McQueen from 2012 to 2015? All right, so round 2, question number 4. Round 2, question 5. Which Coronation Street character made their first appearance in 1974 and is the 4th longest serving cast member? So round 2, question 5. Definitely was in the street. And when I used to watch it back in the 90s. Yeah, I had a big thing. But I think Coronation Street, everyone used to watch Corrie. From the 90s to the noughties, me and my family used to always watch it week in, week out. But I kind of fell out of it. But yes, nice to see. Still a familiar face on the street. But which Coronation Street character made their first appearance in 1974 and is the fourth longest serving cast member? Round 2, question 4. And last one, round 2, question 6. Which future star of Avengers movie franchise played Kim Hyde in Home and Away? Another Aussie one for you there. So, which future star of the Avengers movie franchise played Kim Hyde in Home and Away? It's not uncommon for actors to start off in soaps and then branch off into other things. Ben Kingsley appeared on Coronation Street. So did Ian McKellen. Well, he wanted to appear on Coronation Street. Also, Patrick Stewart made a very, very young Patrick Stewart made an appearance as a very eager firefighter. There's footage of that online if any Trekkies want to look at that. But which future star of the Avengers movie franchise played Kim Hyde in Home and Away? And there's your roundup there of sports questions. Go through them one more time. So, who became the landlord of EastEnders pub, the Queen Vic, on Christmas Day 2013? 2, in Emmerdale, what is Chaz short for in Chaz Dingle? 3, which future Hollywood star played Mike Young in Neighbours and David Croft in Home and Away? 4, in which soap did future Doctor Who companion Mandip Gill play Phoebe McQueen from 2012 to 2015? 5, which Coronation Street character made their first appearance in 1974 and is the fourth longest serving cast member? And 6, which future star of the Avengers movie franchise played Kim Hyde in Home and Away? Alright, so 2 down, 6 to go. Hope you all enjoyed that. Now, moving on to... I sometimes forget the order of these. I just fire them into the system and I'm like, right, how does this work? Anyway, so next round of questions for you guys tonight, I do remember this now, is food and drink. Yes, I know throughout lockdown a lot of us were getting very, very accustomed to wandering to the fridge for something to do, really. And for myself, walking across the road to the shop on many occasion. But yes, loads of questions here about food and drink. 6 questions, here we go. So round 3, question number 1. This one will test your culinary instincts and knowledge. So anyway, so round 3, question 1. What cocktail is made using 3 parts pineapple juice, 1 part coconut rum, and 1 part white rum? So round 3, question number 1. So what cocktail is made using 3 parts pineapple rum, 1 part coconut cream, and 1 part white rum? I could go for one myself, actually. So round 3, question number 1. Give you a clue, there's a song about it. Just throwing that out there. Round 3, question 1. Round 3, question 2. What type of pasta translates to mean little tongues? Yes, round 3, question number 2. Which type of pasta translates to mean little tongues? If you have any Italian on you, you'll probably get that, or probably have an inkling about what that could be. I know the farfalle pasta. Farfalle actually is I think is the Italian word for butterfly. And that kind of little bow tie pasta, it looks like a little butterfly, farfalle pasta. I think there's a link there. Anyway, round 3, question 2. Round 3, question 3. How many bottles of champagne make up a magnum? Now, yes, there's standard bottle sizes, and then they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and each one of them has like various names. And I always know the last one being Nebuchadnezzar because it's massive, and it's you see these novelty-sized bottles of like very, very fancy restaurants and stuff like that. But round 3, question 3: how many bottles of champagne make up a magnum? Right, round 3, question 3. Round 3, question 4. Another one about drink. Juniper berries go into making which spirit? A lot of people are very fond of it. That's round 3, question 4. Juniper berries go into which spirit, or go into making which spirit? That's round 3, question number 4. Round 3, question 5. What is the name of the dessert pastry made of layers of phyllo filled with chopped nuts and sweetened and held together with syrup, frosting, or honey? I'll read that one out again. It's a bit wordy. But what is the name of the dessert pastry which is made of layers of phyllo filled with chopped nuts, sweetened and held together with syrup or frosting or honey? It's round 3, question 3. Round 3, question 6. Sorry, that last question was round 3, question 5. Now we're on to round 3, question 6. Again, I will struggle. I'm going to break this up to try to pronounce it. Arachobutyrophobia. I think we got there in the end. Arachobutyrophobia is the fear of what sticking to the roof of your mouth. Now, I'm no Latin expert. Phobia obviously means fear. But arachobutyrophobia, if I break that up, it means that possibly some of that has to mean mouth or roof of mouth. And then the fear of it's kind of like, a German Stickelbeck word, but they kind of all stick it all together. But arachobutyrophobia is the fear of what sticking to the roof of your mouth. Do you have any weird phobias of food? I do. I'm not a big fan of mayonnaise. Just throwing that out there. But arachobutyrophobia is the fear of what sticking to the roof of your mouth. That's round 3, question 6. And there's your roundup of questions. What cocktail is made of 3 parts pineapple juice, 1 part coconut cream, and 1 part white rum? 2. Which type of pasta translates to mean little tongues? 3. How many bottles of champagne make up a magnum? 4. How juniper berries go into making which spirit? 5. What is the name of the dessert pastry made of layers of phyllo filled with chopped nuts and sweetened and held together with syrup or frosting or honey? And 5. Arachobutyrophobia is the fear of what sticking to the roof of your mouth? Never realized it was a phobia. I never realized. I knew someone had a fear of lollipop sticks, and I kind of get that actually. Kind of really weird feeling on your teeth. Alright, so that was round 3. We're nearly up to halfway, and like I said, I'm going to be firing through these quizzes tonight because I really want to get down to the pub to watch PSG versus Bayern Munich tonight. I don't know who you want to win, but personally I do want to see Bayern Munich. They play a more technical game of football, although they're very, very leaky in the back. And PSG, I don't know, just don't fancy them at all. The sad City didn't get there. Man City, I definitely thought was definitely this year, but Raheem Sterling's miss against Lyon the other night was just like, what? Anyway, don't forget on all the different social media channels as well, give them a follow, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Like and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying it. Do share it with your friends. Anyway, here we go. Next round is a picture round, as we always do, round 4, and it's all about history. Yes, kind of history, kind of geography, but tonight I'm going to be showing you 6 pictures of various buildings, and what I'm going to be asking you, we've done this before and we've turned putting them in order of height, but tonight I'm going to be asking you to put them in order of date, as in how old they are. So here we go, round 4, here is your selection. So I want you to place those buildings in order of age, starting with the oldest. So the White House, Big Ben, Great Pyramid of Giza, Newgrange, the Colosseum, and the Tower of London. Very, very, very easy. All I can say for you guys out there is to use a bit of common sense when it comes to this. If you can, yeah, I think that's the key. If you think the White House is the oldest building in that list, put it at number 1. If you think Big Ben is second oldest, put it at number 2. Work your way. If you think Tower of London is the newest one, put it at number 6. That's how this round works on the Google sheet. But anyway, yes, the White House, Big Ben, Pyramid of Giza, Newgrange, the Colosseum, and the Tower of London. I'll leave that up for a couple of minutes for you guys to figure that one out. And I would say before, use a logical approach to actual, to figuring this one out. I would say that's the best way to approach this. If you don't know for sure, go with what you think is the oldest one. Like, here's a hint. Do you really think the White House is older than the Great Pyramid of Giza? Don't think so. But there we go. We've got 3 kind of ancient buildings and 3, well, not so ancient buildings. Answers that will be revealed at the end, and you may be pleasantly surprised. Give a little bit of history of each of these. The Tower of London, I can tell you, is the oldest building in London. London itself was ravaged by the Great Fire in 1666. A lot of its original buildings there perished. The White House, designed by an Irishman, James Hoban, and was built for the people, by the people of America, for the to be the executive mansion for the sitting president. Funnily, the White House itself, the Oval Office, is not actually in the White House. It's in the west wing of the building, which is an extension that was added on in the 1920s, I believe. But yes, the White House itself, renovated in the 1960s by Jacqueline Kennedy during her short tenure as First Lady of the United States. Current occupant now is Donald J. Trump, but for how long? Big Ben, as you can see there. I'm not actually, when I say Big Ben, I mean the tower, the clock tower, which has been renamed the Elizabeth Tower very, very recently. I believe it was just the Houses of Parliament clock tower before that, and then it got renamed. But yes, the very famous iconic clock tower there on the side of the building. Great Pyramid of Giza outside Cairo, the only surviving ancient wonder of the world, or one of the ancient 7 wonders of the world. Newgrange, the ancient burial site in Meath, in Ireland. I haven't been, actually. I really should remedy that. But it was built in such a way that light shines down through the burial chamber's door into the chamber in the middle during the solstice, and this was obviously figured out by astronomers and astrologers back in ancient Celtic Ireland. Colosseum. Very little introduction need for that building. One of the very largest amphitheaters of ancient Rome. A lot of gladiatorial combats. And performances would have happened there. But yes, the Colosseum, which you can visit today in Rome. And the Tower of London, home of the crown jewels. Like I said, the oldest building in London. But there we go. The White House, Big Ben, Great Pyramid of Giza, Newgrange, the Colosseum, and the Tower of London. It's now 15 seconds to 7:30, and I'm going to pull it just right on 7:30, because that means we're exactly halfway through the quiz. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, so hope you all enjoyed that. Yeah, pretty interesting one. Like I said, I always think to approach it logically would be the best way to kind of figure it out. Like, obviously, I can tell you now that the Great Pyramid of Giza probably isn't the newest one. So there you go. Go figure. Anyway, this is Big Nerd Pub Quiz. We're just halfway through. We're firing through so I can get out to watch the football. Don't forget to donate to Patreon. Patreon link just coming up there. We're halfway through the quiz, and as always, this is the point where we always give a couple of wee shout outs to various partners out there and people that we like What that I like. Anyway, that's mixcloud.com. Hot Topic Nightmare. Do give that a listen at some point. It's a great podcast, my mate Paul. Banterflix and Fright Club. Hopefully I'll be on Banterflix pretty soon talking about some movies. Jim was ringing me there about that. I should get back to him about it. And the Fright Club there, give them a follow on their Twitter feed at Fright Club NI. The Nerd Party, collection of podcasts and shows dedicated to all things geek. Do check that out. And don't forget, tonight you can win some Northern Ireland Tees t-shirts. Very famous Big Nerd Pub Quiz t-shirt. And from Northern Ireland Brew Co, some Lockdown Pale Ale. You can buy the t-shirt from NorthernIrelandTees.com. And don't forget to support the Big Nerd Pub Quiz by donating as little as £1 to the PayPal and Patreon. Really do appreciate all of that. And also, I'm hosting my Back to the 80s breakfast show every weekday morning, 7 till 10 on zestfm.co.uk. Lots of exciting things coming up in the next couple of weeks on Zest FM, so do check that out. But like I said before, I'm really proud to announce my partnership with Harbourside Radio, St. Quiz, new home. On the community station in Warm Point there, Harbourside Radio, Sunday the 6th of September from 8 p.m. That's in 2 weeks' time. Really, really, really looking forward to that. And hope to see all of you guys tuning in to Harbourside. So anyway, we're halfway through. Don't forget, if you want to shout out at any point, by all means, give us a message on the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or... I don't think I've turned off the YouTube comments. I remember doing that on day number 1, and everyone just kept on posting up the answers, which was awkward. Anyway, we're halfway through. 4 more rounds to go. Let's just fire on. Like I said, I'm trying to get these done as fast as I can. Sports round tonight, and I'm talking about sporting firsts. Okay, so 6 questions all about sporting firsts, records, etc., etc. So here we go, round 5. Question number 1. And it's, what event occurred at Chamonix at the foot of Mont Blanc in 1924? It was the very first event of this kind. But round 5, question 1. What sporting event first occurred at Chamonix at the foot of Mont Blanc in 1924? That's round 5, question number 1. Round 5, question number 2. Who was the first British footballer to be transferred for £1 million? So round 2, question 5. Who was the first British footballer to be transferred for £1 million? The year was 1979. Round 5, question 2. Round 5, question 3. Which American football team won the very first Super Bowl back in 1967? Yes, you'll be surprised. Super Bowl isn't actually that old, and compared to the World Series event, which has been going on since the 19th century itself, the Super Bowl was a combination of the 2 different football leagues, the winners of the 2 different football leagues, the AFL and the NFL. And then when they combined, that was the big game. But yes, which American football team won the first Super Bowl in 1967? Round 5, question number 4. Which was the first city in the Southern Hemisphere to host the Olympic Games? So round 5, question 4. The first Olympic Games were held, of course, in Athens in 1886. Baron de Coubertin was the man who was the French man who was the genius behind that, and obviously wanted to recreate the glory days of competitive sport, and Athens was chosen to be the first place in 1886. And obviously various countries have held it, and various cities including London, Paris, Los Angeles. But which was the very first city in the Southern Hemisphere to host the Olympic Games? I can give you a clue. The year was 1956, I think. Yes, it would have been. Yep, 1956. Had to do a couple of quick. Sometimes I get my World Cup years and my Olympic years. This was meant to be an Olympic year. Obviously, that's been screwed up. Anyway, Round 5, question number 5. Giuseppe Farina was the first ever winner to win the Formula 1 Championship, but which make of car did he drive? Formula 1 Championship now is over 70 years old. Round 5, question 5. Giuseppe Farina, first ever winner of the Formula 1 Championship as we know it, but what make of car did he drive? Probably the clue there, possibly in his nationality and his name. He's Italian. Giuseppe Farina. Round 5, question number 6. Which team won the very first FA Cup final? It's round 5, question 6. The most prestigious cup tournament in English football. But which team won the very first FA Cup? That's round 5, question number 6. And there's your roundup of sports questions. So anyway, round 5, question number 1. Which event occurred for the first time at Chamonix at the foot of Mont Blanc in 1904? Number 2. Who was the first British footballer to be transferred for £1 million? 3. Which American football team won the first Super Bowl in 1967? 4. What was the first city in the Southern Hemisphere to host the Olympic Games? 5. Giuseppe Farina was the first ever winner of the Formula 1 Championship, but which make of car did he drive? And 6. Which team won the very first FA Cup final? Again, I think it was 1871. We're talking a long, long time ago. But which team was the very first winners of the FA Cup final? Alright, so that's our sports round. 3 more rounds to go. We'll just keep firing through them because, like I said, my buddy's texting me here right now saying, what's the crack? Are you coming down now? I was like, yes, I am coming. But yes, PSG versus Bayern Munich tonight. PSG in their very first Champions League final. They're a relatively new team. And Bayern Munich, the seasoned Champions League, exponents. They've been there. This might be their 6th time. They're gunning for a 7th. Ken Guckin, he's texted me in. He says, greetings from Portmarnock in County Dublin. Lena and Kieran are here playing. We're enjoying tonight's quiz. Go Bayern Munich tonight, definitely. I'm going to throw this out there. I'm supporting Bayern Munich. Just. Anyway, who else we go? Denise has texted in, still playing your quizzes, still really enjoying them. Can you say hello to me and my mum tomorrow? Hello, mum and Denise. Glad to hear you guys are still tuning in and playing in. Lisa's tuned in as well. We've also got Estelle. Nicole says, I hope PSG is winning the final. To be honest, it's one of those things. I would have hoped West Ham would have got there, but that's never going to happen. But I don't know. I thought City would have won it this year. Just, I don't know. I had a feeling in my bones, but alas, didn't happen. Anyway, keep all the requests and little shout outs coming in to all the different social media channels. I'm very, very, very thankful that you've all tuned in tonight. Like I said, on Champions League night. On a Sunday as well. But these are the times that we live in. Anyway, firing on tonight and moving on to our next round number 6, and it's all about music. I love my music, and this is a little bit of a special one. I'm going to give you famous opening tracks, the very famous opening album tracks of some very, very famous albums. All you have to do is guess what the name of the album is. I'll give you clues to the names of the bands. But yes, let's fire off. Round 6, question 1. I think is an easy one to start off with. Smells Like Teen Spirit was the opening track of which Nirvana album? Round 6, question number 1. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Interestingly, Smells Like Teen Spirit, the actual riff from that, if you listen to Boston's More Than a Feeling, Kurt Cobain was just jamming about and was actually trying to replicate that. So that down. So if you listen to the two tracks side by side each other, they're like, oh yeah, they're really similar. Yeah, that's the direct influence from that. Teen Spirit, interestingly enough, is actually a brand of deodorant. And that's where it comes from. It's not like an anthem for like teenage spirit, as it were. But no, smells like Teen Spirit. That's where it came from. Round 6, question 1. Round 6, question 2. Wouldn't it be nice? Clue there, written by Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys. I saw Brian Wilson perform this album from start to finish at the London Palladium a couple of years ago, celebrating the 50th anniversary of it. Released in 1966 as a direct counterpoint to the Beatles' Rubber Soul, because when Brian Wilson heard Rubber Soul, he was like, oh my god, they've released this amazing concept album. And apparently the track listing, the US track listing on Rubber Soul, was completely different to the US one, for the UK one. And so Brian Wilson, the order of tracks was purely accidental, but Brian Wilson just was like, wanted to one up the Beatles. Not in a bad way, but you know, it just was like, right, if that's what they're doing, this is what we have to do. And this is their album. But this was the first track of it. Wouldn't it be nice? But what was the album called? Round 6, question 2. Round 6, question 3. A little bit more modern, this one. Debaser. It's the Pixies, Frank Black. Oh god, I love the Pixies. But which album is this the opening track of? Round 6, question 3. First saw the Pixies back in 2002, 2003. Phoenix Park in Dublin, and then I saw them about a year or two later again in Dublin at Lansdowne Road, the old Lansdowne Road. And it was really cool to see that, actually. Stand in the middle of the Lansdowne Road pitch watching the Pixies. Kings of Leon, Matchbox 20. Goes to show you my age. Anyway, round 6, question 3, Debaser. Round 6, question 4, Everything is in its right place. I can tell you the band is Radiohead. But which album is Everything in its Right Place the famous opening for, and possibly my favourite Radiohead album? Round 6, question 4, Everything is in its Right Place. Which track is that the opening? For which album is that the opening track? Round 6, question 5, Thunder Road. The amazing opening of which Bruce Springsteen album? That's your clue there, The Boss. But Thunder Road. This is an album you know inside out. You'll know this one. Thunder Road. Round 6, question 5. The Boss. Again, saw him in 2006. Have I seen every group in this? No, I haven't seen Nirvana. I think I've seen every group in this list that I've done. Yeah, I have. Round 6. Apart from Nirvana, I have seen every other group in this list. So saw The Boss do, he played The River, start to finish. But was that the opening track? Not saying anything. Anyway, round 6, question 6, Only Shallow. This is probably the hardest one. If you know this album, you'll know it. If you don't, it's one of those things. One of my favorite bands. Saw them in 2018. One of the loudest groups I've ever heard in my life, and was basically handed earplugs on the way in, and I was told I won't need those. No, I needed those. I was ringing in my ears for days afterwards. Seminal album, Only Shallow, opening track to which My Bloody Valentine album, best Irish group ever. Anyway, round 6, question 6, and there is your roundup. All those tracks, like I said. So we had Nirvana, the Beach Boys, the Pixies, Radiohead, Bruce Springsteen, and My Bloody Valentine. Smells Like Teen Spirit, Wouldn't It Be Nice, Debaser, Everything in Its Right Place, Thunder Road, and Only Shallow are the opening tracks for which albums? I'm looking for the names of the albums, not the artists. Just give you the artists. Round 6. Anyway, firing on. So round 6 down, 2 more to go. Our penultimate round coming up. We've specialised this last one, or second last one as well, Round 7 is going to be a numbers round. Every question here that I'm going to ask you, all the answers are numbers. So anyway, let's waste no time. 3, 2, 1. Question 1 of round 7 is, in the Bible, how many plagues of Egypt were there in the book of Exodus? Round 7, question 1. So, God delivered onto Egypt how many plagues? In the book of Exodus, in the story of Moses, which was obviously the basis of the story of Passover, which is celebrated by the Jewish people. But round 7, question 1. In the Bible, in the Old Testament, how many plagues of Egypt were there? I'll give you a clue. There was the locusts, there was the frogs, there was pestilence, there was sky going black and sand. Yeah, anyway, there's quite a few. Round 7, question 1. In the Bible, how many plagues of Egypt were there? Round 7, question 2. How many points are there in the game of Scrabble given for the letter K? So round 7, question 2. How many points are there in the game of Scrabble given for the letter K? I'm sure many of you have been playing board games over the last couple of weeks and will probably know this. I can give you a clue. It's the only one with this particular point value. That's a clue you're given. Round 7, question 2. Round 7, question 3. One for you, all you geography heads out there. How many landlocked countries are there in South America? So round 7, question 3. How many landlocked countries are there in the continent of South America? Okay. Round 7, question 3. Round 7, question 4. On most touch-type phones, which number key also features the letter M, N, and O? Now, many of us will remember this from our days of texting. If, again, to reminisce about something so kind of banal. In fact, having my old Matrix phone here, I found this the other day, and I was really chuffed to find this. My Nokia, all the way from the late 90s, and my dad, when he upgraded his phone and gave me, say, "Here, son, do you want this phone here?" I was like, "Yes, it's Neo's phone from the Matrix." But it's rather amazing to think, looking at the phone now, just how primitive texting is and how easy texting is these days. But yes, back in the day we had to type them all out. But which number key features the letters M, N, and O on a touch type phone? Round 7, question 5. If an internet user follows a broken or dead link, they will typically find an error message with which number on it? Okay. So, round 7, you know what happens. You click on a page and it's not there and it says something. But what is it? Round 7, question 5. If an internet user follows a broken or dead link, they will typically find an error page, but with which error message? Round 7, question 5. Final numbers question tonight, round 7, question 6. What speed does the DeLorean time machine have to go to travel forwards or backwards in time? So what speed does the DeLorean time machine have to get to go forwards or backwards in time? Very famous one. You'll all know this. You all know I'm a big Back to the Future fan. In fact, I'm kind of wearing a Back to the Future themed shirt tonight. Very fetching. Anyway, round 7, question 6. What speed does the DeLorean time machine have to get to travel forwards or backwards in time? That's round 7. And there's your round 7 roundup. So round 7, question 1. In the Bible, how many plagues of Egypt were there? Round 7, question 2. How many points do you get for the letter K in Scrabble? 3. How many landlocked countries are there in South America? 4. On most phones, what number key also features the letters M, N, and O? 5. If an internet user follows a broken or dead link, they will typically find an error page with which number message on it? And what speed does the DeLorean time travel machine have to get to travel forwards and backwards in time in the movies Back to the Future? There we go. Anyway, round 7 all done. That's the penultimate round. Here comes your final one tonight. And it's a picture round. Like I said, I always try to do picture round 4 and round 8 as picture rounds. So here we go. Round 8 is logos. Yes, final round tonight. I'm going to show you some old tech logos that you might recommend or might recognize from using your phone or using your Windows PC or Mac from back in the day. All you have to do is guess what logo or what app or what application these things were for. Anyway, round 8 logos. Just a word, don't forget at the very, very end of the quiz you will get your scores, but do stick about to find out how you got on and where you went wrong or where you went right with all the answers, which I'll be reading out at the very, very, very end of the quiz. Okay, like I said before, you'll hit submit. You'll get your scores immediately, but do stick about to see how you fared. Anyway, here we go. Round 8, question 1. You might remember this fondly or not. I can tell you that it's not about anymore. They stopped it. But round 8, question number 1, what's that? Round 8, question 2. Again, can't really give too much clues away from these. Well, we'll see how we fare. Anyway, round 8, question 2. Round 8, question 3. You might remember these from the very, very annoying ad. And countless, copious amounts of free CDs in the post. Round 8, question 3. Round 8, question 4. Who remembers that? Yeah, that's pulling on the old nostalgia strings, tell you what. Round 8, question 4. Here comes your penultimate question for this evening. Round 8, question 5. Which tech logo is that? Or what application is that? And here comes your final one. Don't forget what I told you before. You'll get your scores at the very end, but stick about for the answers. A little bit more modern, this one. Round 8, question 6. What logo is that? All right, let's have a quick look at your answers for this evening. Round 8, question 1. Question 2. Question 3. Question 4. Question 5. And finally, question 6. Alright, that's it for Big Nerd Pub Quiz. That's all 8 rounds and 6 questions there. 48 points up for grabs. Let's see how you did tonight. And like I said, oh gosh, definitely made the time now. The time now with me is 53 minutes, so 1953. So I'll fire on here because I do want to get down the street to the pub. Don't want to leave my friend waiting there. Decky, if you're watching, mine's a Guinness. Anyway, here we go. Here's all your answers for the Big Nerd Pub Quiz tonight. This 23rd of August 2020 Champions League night. So here we go. Round 1. Here comes your answers. So, to summarize, let's see how you got on with this one. Florida is the location of Walt Disney World. The Americano is that name for the coffee known as a long... hold on, where is it? A long black in Australia. L. Ron Hubbard founded Scientology. Heather Small, lead singer of People. Jack London, the writer of White Fang and Call of the Wild. And West Ham United supplied 3 players to the England World Cup team in 1966. Mick Carter became the landlord of the Queen Vic in Christmas Day 2013. Chastity Dingle is the answer for Chaz. It's short for Chaz Dingle. Guy Pearce played Mike Young in Neighbours and David Croft in Home and Away. Mandip Gill played Phoebe McQueen in Hollyoaks. Gail, 4th longest serving cast member in Coronation Street. And Chris Hemsworth, another famous one from Home and Away, who played Kim Hyde. Your food and drink answers here. Pina colada is pineapple juice, 1 part coconut cream, and 1 part white rum. Linguini is little tongues in Italian. Magnum is made up of 2 bottles of champagne. Juniper berries go into making gin. A baklava is that really complicated dessert pastry made up of 2 layers of phyllo filled with chopped nuts, sweetened and held together with syrup, frosting or honey. And arachibitrophobia is the fear of peanut butter sticking to your mouth. Okay, so those are the order there of the buildings I showed you. Newgrange, dating all the way back to 32,000 BC, older than the pyramids. Great Pyramid of Giza is, a little bit younger than it, but let's say a little bit. It's like 2,000. It's like a big, good couple of 100 years between the two of them. Great Pyramid of Giza there, they reckon was built between 2580 and 2560 BC. The Colosseum of Rome, slightly newer, the one after AD there, 70 AD. Tower of London, 1078. The White House in 1792. And Big Ben, 1759. Yes, the Palace of Westminster has been around a lot longer. However, the Big Ben's tower, which holds the clock and the bell, known as Big Ben, was built in 1859, making it the newest one. But yes, the White House is actually older than Big Ben. So there you go, very interesting. It was kind of a Gothic style that makes it look older, but it actually isn't. Your sports questions there. The Winter Olympics was the first event held at Chamonix in 1924. Trevor Francis was the first £1 million player in Britain. Green Bay Packers won the very first Super Bowl. First city in the Southern Hemisphere to hold the Olympics was Melbourne. Giuseppe Farina drove for Alfa Romeo to win the very first ever Formula 1. And Wanderers FC were the first ever FA Cup winners. Those albums, like I said, Nirvana's Nevermind, I think it was the most famous one of that. Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys for Wouldn't It Be Nice. Debaser, opening track for Doolittle by the Pixies. Everything in Its Right Place, the opening track for Kid A by Radiohead. Thunder Road opens Born to Run by The Boss. And Loveless, Only Shallow, is the opening track from that album by Mind Bloody Valentine. Fantastic 1991 album there. The numbers round, there were 10 plagues of Egypt. 5 points are given to the letter K in Scrambled. There are 2 landlocked countries in South America. That's Bolivia and Paraguay. On most phones, the number key features the lettering M, N, and O is the number 6. 404 is the number that comes up with a dead link. And the DeLorean has to go to 88 miles an hour. And those logos there finally at the very end. So we Internet Explorer, mostly all web browsers, but we had Internet Explorer, Internet Safari, which was the Mac one. Internet Explorer is actually dead this year. They're knocking it off. AOL Messenger. We all remember AOL America Online, our very first experiences online. MSN Messenger there. Mozilla Firefox. And Spotify being the very last ones. Have a wee look at those again. So we Internet Explorer, Safari, America Online, AOL, MSN Messenger, Firefox, and Spotify. Alright, thanks very much for tuning in to Big Nerd Pub Quiz. As always, really, really glad you could join me tonight. I'm off to the pub to catch the very start of the football. Enjoy it. I hope Bayern Munich win. It's just a game at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, it makes no difference at the end of the day. Don't forget, tune into my radio station, zestfm.co.uk every morning from 7 till 10. Also, don't forget, Harbourside coming your way. In 2 weeks, Big Nerd Pub Quiz will be on Harbourside Radio. It's the same quiz, just a new home. But we're also going to be doing it on YouTube as well. I'm going to have to figure that out technically how that will work. But hopefully I'll be doing the quiz on YouTube. But it'll be from a different location. It'll actually be from a studio instead of my bedroom. But yes, totally worth doing. Thank you very much. Don't forget to share all your pictures using the hashtag Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, you can hire Big Nerd Pub Quiz as well if you feel that you want to organise a party for your office. That's socially distance compliant and really fun and easy to set up. By all means, do get in touch with me. BigNerdPubQuiz@gmail.com. It just remains for me to say, have a great rest of your evening. Have a great week this week. Like I said, enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. Don't forget, wear your masks. These are my masks. These aren't panties. These are actual masks. They actually match my Hawaiian shirt here. But yes, don't forget you wear your mask outside. Stay safe. Stay sensible. I'll see you guys all again next week for the very, very last standalone Big Nerd Pub Quiz on this channel before we move over to Harborside. Thanks very much for playing. I'll see you all soon. Good night.